Make the ground shake.
Welcome to Web Enterprises. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Ahmet Atınç, publisher of Web.Enterprises. On today's episode, we will be talking about domain name investment. If it's your first time on Web Enterprises, make sure you hit that big subscribe button and don't forget to click the little bell icon so you don't miss a thing. Before we start, I would like to make an announcement. On our following vlog, we will be reviewing some new GTLD portfolios that are submitted through our website. So, if you'd like to get feedback on your domain names, you can contact us from the link below. If a domain investor or a potential buyer is interested in your domain name while watching one of our domain reviews, we will let them know how to get in touch with you. After each domain review, we will be sharing a contact information for the potential buyers. If you are concerned about receiving spam emails, or if you have any kind of privacy concern about sharing your personal email address publicly, no problem. Then we will be providing our mailing information. We would like to have the domain owners on the show. This is not a requirement since some of you may feel uncomfortable on camera, but we highly encourage our community to participate in the show. These domain review series are not just about reviews, but also a promotion for the domain name and its owner. We will be publishing Wall of Fame each month. This means that we will select and promote the finest domain names that are submitted for our review on Web Enterprises. Once the Wall of Fame is reported, we will shoot out the list in each episode of domain reviews, and this will continue until the next Wall of Fame is reported. So, let's start with domain name investment. You need to understand the investment concepts very well, and you should position yourself in the market depending on the investment concept you will follow. There are two different types of investment concepts. First one is short-term investment, where the investor is willing to get profits within 12 months of their acquisition. If you're interested in short-term investment, you must understand the market very well. I mean very well. Short-term domain investment requires experience in domaining. The other concept is long-term investment, where the investor is willing to get profit within 12 to 16 months of their acquisition. If you're interested in long-term investment, you should focus on your renewal rates. .com domains usually costs between $10 to $15 depending on the registry you prefer. When it comes to new GTLDs, there might be some premium renewal costs based on the extension you are investing in. You need to evaluate your costs very well, especially if you are registering domains in quantity. Evaluate your costs based on 1 year to 5 years of renewal rates, and do not go all in with your budget. You need to know the trends and the price ranges in the domain name market in order to become a successful domain name investor. Return on investment for short-term concept is smaller comparing to long-term investments. When I say smaller, don't get me wrong, because I mean 5x to 10x profit margins, which is great. In long-term domain name investment, you might be looking for 10x to 100x return on investment, depending on the quality of the domain you have. It might take some time, but trust me, it worth it. You should also know that some domains will never sell in your lifetime. So you better choose carefully while registering domains for a long time hold. If you're new to domain name investment, there are a few things you need to focus on. First of all, stay away from brandable domains and try to register category killer names. The reason behind this is end users are usually looking for descriptive domain names related to their businesses. You might sell a brandable domain to another domain investor, but chances to make an end user sale is really short. If you're selling a domain name to another domain investor, your profit margin will be less comparing to an end user sale. So if you're planning on investing in brandable domains, make sure that you are pricing them correctly, because other domain investors will be expecting a reselling price in order to make a profit from their acquisition. While searching for category killer names, you will realize that most of the great names are already taken. You might search for 100 domains in a row and see all of them are registered by someone else. This might be frustrating at first, but if you find one category killer name out of 100 search results, that's great. Secondly, if you're not a native English speaker, as I am, make sure you're checking the spelling of the domain before registering it. Some of the native speakers might be also bad at spelling, so I suggest them to check the spelling before registering any domains as well. Trust me, you don't want to have the disappointment after realizing that you just registered a typo domain. And imagine all the cheer and excitement while registering the domain name. It's so awful. Finally, the most common mistake made by new investors are registering trademark domains. Never ever even think about it. The consequences will be big if you're registering trademark domains. I'm not just talking about flushing the registration fee in the toilet, but also I'm talking about big penalties you might face with the original trademark owner. In this case, you most likely will be notified by the trademark owner with a cease and desist letter. And in the end, you might end up in a court with a large bill of $100,000 to be paid to the trademark owner. There is another subject that I would like to touch on. If you're following domain forums, you might see questions like, what is the best extension after .com? Or you might see heated discussions about extensions alone. First of all, let me answer the question. There is no such a thing as best extension. You heard me right. There are no kings or queens in this industry. You can't compare an extension with another. I mean, of course you can, but there is no logic in it. What matters is the combination of the string and the extension together. Let's take a moment and review some examples so you can understand what I mean. I will be giving some domain examples for your review. Please take a moment and decide on which domain would you register. I will do the same after each example.
Our first domain name is flyingbookseparators.com and our second domain name is beverage.catering. Okay, that was easy. I would definitely choose beverage.catering over flyingbookseparators.com. Therefore, I preferred a new GTLD against a .com extension. Here is another example. Our first domain name is hotels.com and our second domain name is pinkelephant.xyz. I go first. Of course I would choose hotels.com over pinkelephant.xyz. Therefore, I preferred a .com domain against a new GTLD. Let's keep going. Here is another example. irishpub.com with double B and irish.pub. Okay, I would choose irish.pub instead of the typo or domain with styling or whatever it is called.
I hope we have been giving the same answer so far. So let's see two last examples.
Our first domain name is worstdomainsforsale.com and our second domain name is worstdomains.forsale. In this case, I wouldn't register any of these domains since they won't even worth the registration fee. Here is our last example. paristours.com and paris.tours. I will be honest here. I would definitely register both domains if they were available.
I hope you get the general idea about how ridiculous it is to discuss the extensions alone without even including the left of the dot. Do not be close-minded when it comes to new GTLDs. Most of the great .com domains are already taken and there is no way to own them for registration fee anymore. But you can still grab some killer domains with new GTLDs if you're lucky enough. So, why there are no great .com domains for hand registration anymore? That's because .com have been around for a while. You might not know this, but first .com domain was registered back in March 1985. And new GTLDs have been around for just a couple of years, and there are still new extensions that are not even introduced to the market yet. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you all for your time. Hope you enjoyed it, and I see you on our next vlog.